Good morning. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with your teen. We are talking on this Monday morning about how we get going. It's getting darker in the mornings. No matter where we are, even if we live in a relatively warm place, it still has that sort of wintry feel in the morning when we wake up and the light is kind of dim. So we're talking about how we get ourselves going at the beginning of the week and those mornings, and maybe how we get our teenagers going too. Um, I have to say, I had this idea at the beginning of the school year because my kids are virtual for the foreseeable future. And I didn't really think this idea was going to stick, but I said to them that I wanted them to walk to school around the block every morning before they started school. And two of the three pretty much do it without pushing. So I think that's great. I probably should be doing that too, getting outside first thing in the morning. That's what they tell us. But instead I have my big light, my big sunlight. At this time of year, I start with my seasonal affective disorder light that's supposed to give me all my happy feels. So that and a cup of tea, and I'm pretty much on my way. Let me go to Emily.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm in Southern California, so it's not as cold here, but it is actually in the low 50s this morning. So it feels chilly. And we don't turn our heat on until the last possible minute because it seems crazy to turn your heat on in a day that it might be getting up to 70 or 80. So I have to put a sweatshirt by the bed because if I'm cold, and I love to sleep cold, but I really have a hard time getting out of the bed when I'm cold. So I have like my leggings, a workout gear, or a sweatshirt like right there next to the bed. And then I often put enough time onto my alarm that I can read a little bit. So I can just put the sweatshirt on, read a few minutes, warm up, and then I can get out of bed. But I also walk the dog as soon as possible, and that helps. And my kids have just discovered a French press and are trying to experiment with coffee. They're all teenagers. We really don't want it to be a daily habit, but that is what got my 13-year-old son out of bed before me this morning. So we'll see what happens with that. I will go to Eka.
Good morning. The walking thing seems to be quite the trend for everybody. I don't have any teenagers at home, but I have found, like on weekends, if I don't plan anything, I am lying in bed until 11 o'clock reading a book. So I try to keep my Monday through Friday feeling like a work week. And so what I do is I walk with my neighbor across the street, and I purposely schedule us to walk at a time where I have to get out of bed, because obviously I could walk anytime, but I make it at like between 8 and 8:30, and it's kind of cold out, so it wakes me up. Otherwise, I mean, I could walk at 2 o'clock, and sometimes I would be tempted not to do anything. So I got to get myself up and ready to go. So that's how I kind of make my mornings work out. All right, I'm going to send over to Mindy.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't really understand what the problem is. I mean, this house, we are up and going before sunrise every morning. Now, I will admit, we live up north, so sunrise this morning was at 8:12 a.m., so it's not that tough. But what I have always done is, we're the end of October. I've always told my kids, myself, that we have, 6, 7 more weeks, and then it starts getting lighter. We start gaining time. So that's always been my motivation is, we can do this for 6 or 7 weeks, kind of enjoy it, embrace it, and then it's going to start to get lighter every day. So that's how I do it, besides being up and at 'em at sunrise, up here by 8:30 every morning. I'll send it down because she's below me on the screen to Jen.
These are all really great ideas that I should definitely take notes on, because getting up in our house is a struggle. We have no morning people in my house except for the cats. The cats will remind us very loudly that it's time to get up and feed them. So having an overlord is helpful. But what I also find helpful is if I make a little effort the night before to set the coffee pot. I don't actually set it to brew, but I actually get it ready. So that if I say to myself in the morning, all I have to do is get downstairs and push one button and I will have hot, fresh coffee brewing, that is really a big incentive. So nighttime self, be good to morning self and get some stuff ready. That's sort of like Emily's trick to put the sweatshirt by the bed. So you get out in the morning, you have a plan. I also do like having something I know I have to get up for. And in these COVID times, that's really very tricky. My nighttime brain says, I'm going to go for a walk in the morning, but my morning time brain says, no, I'm going to stay right here where it's warm and cozy. So I have a lot of empathy for my kids because I think they got that gene directly from me. I could stay in bed and, scroll my phone way too long. So I'd like to hear some more great suggestions from other people. I'm going to toss it over to Jessica because I know she's going to have all the answers for me.
Well, of course I'm going to have all the answers, but if I don't, and this is just a reminder, if anyone feels like posting their own ideas in the comments, we can make it just, magically appear at the bottom of the screen. So for sure, let us know your ideas. So I don't really have to be waking anybody else up in the house early. And I don't think my roommate would appreciate it that much. But for me, I have my alarm set for 7:45, and then I get up at that time, even on the weekends, not necessarily by choice. It's just kind of habit by now. But the first thing I do every morning is get into the shower because that is the only thing that's going to wake me up. Otherwise, I'm just going to be groggy and tired for the rest of the day. And I'm still probably going to be groggy and tired, but at the very least, I am awake enough to start getting to work. Just having that very consistent habit, wake up, get in the shower, good to go. And I think that's everybody, right?
Jen, just to add one thing, Jen, I would suggest setting it to brew. My middle son taught us to do that with our coffee pot this summer. And honestly, waking up and knowing the coffee is ready, it's huge. It really makes a difference. You just get in, you just know, okay, sometimes you can smell it, it's ready to go. So do it, schedule it, makes a difference. My final tidbit.
Thank you, Mindy.
Awesome. And it sounds like
I needed that little bit of motivation. That's exactly what we need to do.
I think what we discovered this morning is that Mindy needs to be all of our gurus and tell us how she's doing this magical waking up. And she's just, looking down her nose at all us lazy bums, right? No, but we would love to know what everybody else does to get themselves up. And I didn't hear a lot of talk about getting the teenagers out of bed, so we could use the tips for that too. So please add some in the comments. And do we have anything else to add? Are we supposed to be telling our viewers about anything else this week? Your teen folks, always look at our schedule. We have something at 10:30 every day. Go ahead, Jen.
You can join us on Wednesday at 10:30 when Sharon and I have coffee together virtually, and we invite you to have coffee with us. And we are going to talk about Halloween and also other upcoming holidays at this week's session. So you won't want to miss that.
We have some special news on Wednesday too, don't we, Jen? We'll talk.
You got to tune in to find out.
All right. For now, everybody have a great day, and don't forget to vote. And we'll see you hopefully this week and definitely next Monday as well. All right. Take care, everybody.